AI is acting on data. So continue to think about your data strategy, your data structure, and how you're approaching that as a firm. It being organized and scalable is really important. Also think about your policies on humans and practitioners in the loop, right? It's not about it happening to you. It's about you being in control of it and knowing how you want your workflow to change for the benefit of the firm and for your clients.
From Aderant, this is Studio A, the podcast that helps legal professionals like you stay on top of trends and solutions that keep your law firm thriving. Welcome to Studio A, powered by Aderant, your legal tech podcast for all of the latest conversations shaping the legal industry. I'm your host, Will Ayers, and today we have a brilliant mind on the show. She is the SVP of Product Management and AI at Aderant, Miss Lisa Erickson. Lisa, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. I've read a lot of your work. I've had you on the road with Studio A before it became an official podcast before. So now this is the first time that you're on the official podcast. So I'm super excited about it.
I'm really excited too. Thank you.
Now let's talk artificial intelligence. It was a huge buzzword last year. In 2025, I think that we've taken steps to go to the next level as it pertains to an industry overall. And the big conversation topic now is AI agents. For those that may not be familiar with what agents are, provide us with more clarity on what an AI agent is.
Yeah, the core of an AI agent is rooted in automation. So that's task automation, but it takes automation to the next level. Instead of it being a prescripted set of tasks, agents have the ability to also reason and do decision making. So you can give it guardrails, but it can also then make more advanced decisions and advanced reasoning.
Why do you think it's important now for law firms to go from automation to orchestrating task and the multi-step process?
Yeah. So if you think about what, simple automation is, it is something like automating a task like create an invoice or notify somebody about an approval step. These are all individual items that can be automated. The power comes for a law firm when they can start to string multiple of those steps together and it be fully orchestrated. So if you start thinking about it in terms of, I'm not going to just automate an invoice or automate a bill or automate notification, but you can string together a series of automations with agents. That is really where productivity, efficiency, freeing time up to do client-facing work really comes in.
Now, something that I love and that I'm learning more and more about AI is its ability to be able to span across multiple solutions on a unified platform. Through my conversations with legal professionals, in addition to thought leaders like yourself, I've learned that a lot of law firms are operating in silos. And as a company, Aderant is trying to break down those walls. Can you talk about the role that artificial intelligence plays in breaking down those silos?
Yeah, it goes back to what we were just talking about, right? So if we want to do a process across intake of a matter and then work against the matter and then the billing of the work against the matter and how is that work actually going? And do I have compliant time? And can I automate that time and put it on a bill and ensure it's compliant? Then do I have a high rate of knowing that because it's compliant, I'm going to then get paid? And then that bill goes out and that's automatic. Think about what I just said. That's not one system. That's multiple systems. It does cross multiple teams. It crosses teams in the practice. It crosses the finance team. It may even cross into talent in terms of who you have placed and, their rates and how that is all going. So all of that together crosses multiple teams in a firm, in an organization. And so then what happens with AI agents, if you can start automating that, and then you can do multi-agent orchestration across them, you're inherently breaking down those silos.
Now, something that I've seen you and others talk about previously before this interview is making sure that AI is able to supercharge the capabilities of the professionals that are behind the law firms that are doing the work. Where should the legal professionals be in control as it pertains to AI?
Where the legal professionals are in control, it's going to be up to each firm, their own policies and their own decisions. But when it comes to things around compliance, meeting client expectations, interfacing with clients directly, and that type of engagement, humans are first.
From a strategic value perspective, because all technology that law firms adopt, there are always KPIs associated with it to prove its worth, to prove its value. Where are the metrics as it pertains to AI? Because I'm pretty sure legal professionals and law firms and those decision makers, they want to know like how to measure that success.
I think the one that comes up most often is speed. And while it's really easy to say I can have a KPI around speed, what are you really trying to get at? And I think these kind of KPIs are much more robust in terms of measuring effectiveness of AI. Did it improve your productivity and work with your clients and make the customer relationship better and that customer experience better? Were you able to look into and look at new business opportunities, more business opportunities for your firm? So all of this then relates back to efficiency, productivity, profitability, and client experience, engagement, and happiness. And I think those kinds of KPIs are important.
Are legacy systems slowing you down? Meet the firms that broke free. In this exclusive client roundtable, hear firsthand from Aderant clients as they reveal how Expert Sierra transformed their operations, from migration milestones to measurable wins. If you're ready to accelerate your revenue cycle and unify your front and back office, this is your roadmap to a smarter practice. Head to the webinar's on-demand section at aderant.com and watch why firms are hitching their wagon to Expert Sierra today.
There's been a huge announcement and a lot of news in the legal tech industry. Aderant has acquired a new platform to bolster our AI capabilities. Can you talk about that acquisition and the way that's going to impact MADDI? Because Aderant is already building technology, but now we're integrating additional technology to bolster those capabilities.
Yeah, so you're obviously talking about the Hercules Legal Assets acquisition, which we're really excited about. And what Hercules did with its legal products is they've advanced the area of OCG processing and compliance with AI timekeeping. And then they have some really cool capabilities on mobile and email filing and kind of compliance. So we're really excited about that. And where that bolsters MADDI is our incorporation of those assets into the Stridyn platform, into our AI services architecture. The way that Hercules AI and on the legal side, they approach the kind of models that they're using was really unique in terms of, instead of bigger, larger monolithic models, targeted models to better and more easily process that data. So we'll then incorporate that. And what we plan to do is really advance our own AI timekeeping capabilities, our own OCG capabilities pretty quickly.
Now, things are moving fast. So before we close, what are some things that law firms should be on the lookout for when it comes to AI? Because it just seems like things are moving so fast. There are different areas, different challenges that continue to evolve. But what are some things that law firms should keep in mind as AI continues to evolve over the next few years?
It's going to move faster than I think we even imagined before and think going forward. And I think folks know that, but just really recognize how fast it is moving. And while it's moving so fast, don't forget the foundational principles, right? AI is acting on data. So continue to think about your data strategy, your data structure, and how you're approaching that as a firm. It being organized and scalable is really important. Also think about your policies on humans and practitioners in the loop, right? It's not about it happening to you. It's about you being in control of it and knowing how you want your workflow to change for the benefit of the firm and for your clients. And so really kind of remember those two things, like compliance, security, and process and experience. Because if you remember those two kind of categories of things, what will then happen is that you are then in control, guiding that kind of future, and you will reap the benefits that we talked about before in terms of productivity, profitability, better client experience.
Well, Lisa, it's truly been an honor and a pleasure to have you on this episode. I know that I could check back in with you to find out about all things AI. So thanks again for joining us. And I hope to see you again in the near future because we need those updates about all the great innovation taking place at Aderant.
Thank you so much, Will.
You've been tuned in to Studio A, powered by Aderant, your legal tech podcast for all of the latest conversations shaping legal tech. For more, you can check us out on all major streaming platforms. You've been tuned in to Studio A.
Thanks for listening to Studio A. For more from this episode, visit Aderant.com. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a beat, and we'll see you next time in Studio A.